Hey everybody, this is Mike. Today is April 30th, 2020, and I just want to give a quick update right now. Seems that I've left people on maybe a bit of a cliffhanger by looking at some of the comments on the most recent videos I made on hijacking reality. And I'm very excited about putting out episode number 3. I guess I'd call it episode. I don't know. Because there's really good stuff, particularly, as it relates to what do we do with this information? How do we apply this in like a practical way? But I can't do that right now. Since the publishing of that last video, that was like last week, last Saturday, me as an individual, like my personal life has been turned upside down. Nothing to worry about, but like my life is going through this major transition. And on one level, like it's not only very exciting, but I think it's a reflection. Like this is how I see my life. I encourage everyone to do the same with their own, but they're living a mythic journey, and it is part of like the grander journey. And like the fact that all of us are doing the shared experience right now, as relates to like quarantine stuff, it's like never before has it been a more shared sort of journey. So I highly encourage everyone to look at their own lives, the mundane in their life, as whatever's coming up. Like, that's where your gold is, and that's, where it is that your journey is going, and what the details of your journey. So all that said and done, this is what's going on with me. And this is friggin' wild. Particularly for any of you who have been following along on my Instagram account for at least since December. Like since December, I've been covering all of these very, very unusual and strange synchronicities as it relates to my new living situation, the house which I moved into. And they've been, from my perspective, like unbelievably like beautiful. Not so much in terms of like what they are, like the house and where I'm living is fantastic, but then also in terms of the poeticness of all of the coincidence, synchronicity, and so forth. And to me, that was an indication, like, you're in the right place. This is it. Like, this is how life works. This is how humans are meant to live. We're meant to live first with our rational mind, well established, and then for our higher mind, our imaginatory mind, to allow life to unfold in this like grand mystic adventure. That's us. If you're just in the rational level, you're missing the main part. And if you're just like living in the imaginatory realm, you're eating your dessert without having any of like your vegetables. So it's like, you got to have both. But anyway, so it's my life and where I live, and particularly right now has been a major theme in my personal storytelling. So I am going to be moving on Saturday. So today is what? Today is Thursday. On Saturday, I over this past weekend, I've been given this really unusual opportunity, and in light of everything that I've said before, it ties in so perfectly. On a certain level, I find it very intimidating, but on this other level, I see it as this is my journey. I'm going to be the caretaker of a vacant church, and I'm going to it's a 15,000 square foot church, and I am going to be there for 60 days. And for 60 days, and I have to sleep there every night. It's part of the agreement. And so what has happened is the church is vacant, and it is being prepared for its next iteration. So it's completely filled with what the previous tenants had in there, like all their stuff. And I'm staying inside this church, and I'm the dude who's going to go and get everything ready, like throw out all the trash and get everything ready to be auctioned off. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to be living there. I'm going to be the caretaking to ensure, like, people aren't breaking in and stuff like that. So that's like the mundane level. But like from this more synchromistic level, like I'm going to be in a church by myself. No one else is allowed in the church. That's part of this. It's part of this, the agreement which I have with the owners. For liability reasons, no one else can come onto the property of the church. No one else can be in the property church except for me. And I'm allowed to leave that, but every night I need to, for 60 days, I'm going to be sleeping in this church by myself, and I need to be there every night by 10:30. And the preparation for this, like, to the moving in and like, what am I going to need to be in there? Because, I got a lot of other stuff going on. I got this stuff. I got all the starboard stuff. Getting that preparation has really fueled me and filled my time over the past week, which is why I don't have a video for you right now. But at the same time, all of the next videos are going to be grounded in the fact that I'm going to be doing this in this really, really unusual environment. I don't have a church background, and it's big. Like it almost here's the intimidating part. Have you seen The Shining? It's like that. Like it's not an isolated church. Like it's a big campus, and it's kind of like suburban, I guess you would. Like there are homes around it, but I'm the only one who's allowed on there. I'm gonna be in there, and I'm approaching this. Almost in the exact same way I approached when I went to Peru in 2011. I did a 2-week ayahuasca retreat in Peru in 2011, and like that's not my normal life. Like I'm not like a heavy. I don't go to retreats, and I don't do a lot of psychedelics. No, not that ayahuasca is psychedelic, but it has psychotropic properties. But like all of that was a really big deal for me, and I took it as like, this is an experience I'm going in to work on myself, and I'm going to go in there. I don't know what I'm going to experience, but I do know that when I come out the other side, I will be a different person, and I know that to be true. That is what happened to me, and this is exactly the same sort of scenario which is happening again. Like that's how I'm seeing these 60 days, like in the church, and what it is that I'm going to be working with, and what I'm going to be creating, and what I'm going to be sharing. Like this is the time. Like if you got like a starboard session, I put all my starboard sessions on hold this past week. I haven't done a single one because I'm doing them all in the church. I'm doing it all in that energy. I've never been alone like this before. It kind of freaks me out, but at the same time, before I went to Peru, it was kind of freaking me out as well. And when I take it in consideration of everything else which is going on, like, this is seemingly a big deal. And the information which I want to get across, like I'm not getting across like information like, oh, this is, what I want to share while I'm out there. Like I don't want to. It's not like information. This is the true history or anything like that. I want to talk about ways of being human, and ways of being human that are potentially changing and coming our way, and then how to navigate that reality. Like that's what I want to talk about. So. I'll probably be moving in the next 2 days. And then once I get settled in, I want to begin to really deliver that type of information. I'm always going to be talking about the synchromysticism. I'm always going to be like deconstructing what's happening in reality. But, looks like my game's leveling up. Wish me luck. Best to all of you, and I'll see you the next time.